today we have a new cookie class for free, just for you guys, with our Enco Foods family. So today we will be bringing you some summer vibes cookie for this, of course, coming summer. And we will be teaching you different techniques with realizing and some techniques as well. Make sure to join us and to share this video with other cookiers, because we will be very, very happy to show new techniques for you guys. Welcome everyone here at Enco Foods USA. Today we have a new cookie class for you guys. Everything just for free. We're going to be making this amazing cookie with amazing royal techniques and of course some painting techniques that you cannot miss. So for this, before we start, I'm going to let you know what we will be using. So remember that our wonderful Enco Foods brand have two different products that we will use. So we have the royal icing mix. Remember that this is their royal icing mix, and they have the bigger presentation and the smaller bag. However, you can definitely, the only thing that you need is just to add water and put it in the mixer, either if it's a hand mixer or a stand mixer, it's going to work perfectly okay. In the reverse side of the packet, remember that you will always find the instructions on how to make it, okay? Then we will also have their amazing meringue powder. If you're not such a newbie cookier, then you will definitely fall in love with this meringue powder, which is very stable. It has a lot of volume and a lot of stability, okay? So these are two different products, but today we will be using the royal icing mix. And of course, to give some color to it, we will be using our amazing collaboration with Enco Foods, our yummy collection. Okay, remember that this kit comes with 9 different colors. You can see the different colors that it's included inside, and inside the little box comes a cookie decorating booklet, totally for free, where we share our sugar cookie recipe that doesn't get deformed, and it just bakes perfectly and it tastes delicious. So for today, we will be using basically almost all of our yummy collections, except for our super black. So super black is one of the Enco's, I think, like star colors, because you will find that with little product you will get very, very deep colors. Okay, so the black, you will not be having such a hard time achieving it. So another thing, so for our cookie we will use our bubblegum pink, which is one of my favorite colors. And I want to show you, because this exact same color from our yummy collection, bubblegum pink, will make us get these 3 and even more pink shades, okay? The only difference, remember, is the amount of color, the food gel color that you add, that you will get the different shades intensity, okay? Then for the skin tone on our girl, I'm going to do a combination of creamy ivory, also from our yummy collection. Remember that you can always see that they're from our collections with a little heart. And I did a combination with creamy ivory and sweet peach, okay? Remember that you always add just, this is the base, and just with a little bit of a toothpick, you will get a small amount of the sweet peach, so it doesn't get like too orangey, okay? And last but not least, we'll also use some white, just regular white, to make some realizing transfers. Super black, this is just to make some final outlines on our girl's hat. And I think that's all we need. We will also be painting on top of our royal icing, but I'm going to show you how we're going to do it later on in the class, okay? So welcome. Also, let us know if you're sharing this video. Help us a lot. If you want to send some stars as well, we will be very, very happy. And let's just say hi to Willie as well.
Yes, hello everyone. We are very happy to be here with you again. Hello.
Hi. Okay, so if you want to come over.
Okay.
I'm going to start, and we have a little gift for you guys. So in order to get this little gift, remember, because we want you to give it a try to this for this cookie, remember that the only thing you need to do is help us share this video. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So turn.
We like the gift.
Yes, we like gifts. So for this cookie, we're going to start by painting the background on it, because we want to have like some depth to it. And for this, I'm going to use some white. I like to use this Enco's White Plus, okay, which is quite liquid. Comes in liquid. I'm going to add some here.
So why do you like it instead of you use it instead of
I just like the texture. It's easier for my royal icing to get mixed onto it. And for this specific cookie, it's just going to be more liquidy. And I don't have to be adding any other like vodka or anything. It will just dry directly. So my bubblegum pink. Remember that we also have our yummy collection in bigger size, if you're such a fan like us. Okay, so I'm going to add a little drop on it. Yep, and that's going to be more than enough. A little drop will go a large way. Okay, so for this, I'm going to take a tad of the pink. And I want to get like a very, very light pink. Probably you would use less than this. I just didn't use a droplet. Remember to just mix it very, very well so that we dissolve completely our food gel color and so it blends perfectly. So the first thing that I will do is to paint this guideline, which is one of the shades of like the inner part of our girl's summer hat. Okay, as you can see, it's a little bit see-through, but we will work with different layers on top to make it thicker. I usually work with our dioxide titanium, but here's another option because most people ask if they can. Yes, you just need to do more layers to layer it on top. Okay, I try to go into the creases so they're not so obvious, and then I will go the other way to the other side. And because we do this because we want our face to pop off, you know, like to be like a very 2D bidimensional effect. If I would just flood this area, everything would just look flat, and that's something that I don't want. So this is the first. Then the second layer is going to be just deeper in color. So the only thing I'm going to do is just take more of my bubblegum pink. I'm going to do more just here. Because remember, white will always tend to soften the colors. I think I like this one. Okay. If you have our gourmet collection, you can definitely do it directly with our raspberry, with our raspberry smoothie color. You're going to fall in love with it. Okay. So I follow the guideline of where my hat goes. And we try not to get into the guideline where the face goes because we're still going to flood that area. So now that we have this, now it's time to completely paint on it. Today you're so quiet. Mm-hmm. Is anyone there?
Lee says, hello. I'm late, but well rested.
Good. Now let's do the other side as well. I'm just going to bring a little bit more here because this one's already drying. Same.
And remember, we have a gift for you. So share this video so we can send you the gift. Later, we will tell you how to get it.
Okay. Remember to follow your guidelines. Okay. On my first reel that we already posted of this cookie, I painted this once the face was dry. However, I did that just for timings, for my face to dry as full as possible, as fast as possible. However, I think it just takes longer for you to make when you have the face because then you have to be extra careful of not painting the face, you know, like the sides of the face need to be completely clean. So here I just find you don't have to be so like perfectionist. You can just paint more easily without having the stress of your paint going onto your skin tone, okay? So this is the pink area. Now I'm going to use a different paintbrush, and we're going to use our minty marshmallow. Okay, this is also from our Yummy collection, and I'm going to put a little drop on the side.
Thank you, Lee, for sharing.
Thank you for sharing the video. So now I take like a little tip, and I'm going to mix it onto my white color, and I'm going to start painting what is supposed to be a little bit of the sky or reflection of water, whatever works for you in the story. And I think it's a very nice combination of colors. Just make sure that there's no cookie, that you cannot see the cookie, like see through the cookie color.
And could you repeat the color you used before for the people who is just
joining us?
Yeah.
So this was bubblegum pink, very soft. And once I finished coloring this area, I added just more. I took more directly and paint. This is bubblegum pink.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I was telling, if you are in Mexico and you have our gourmet collection, then the raspberry smoothie is going to be one of your favorites. Okay. So
This one looks really nice.
yes, very deep in color.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, they're very like, the texture is actual gel. It doesn't really spread because sometimes they just, some colors that come too liquidy. And that is something that I love about their Enco's food gel coloring as well. Because it's very saturated. They really keep the texture. There's no changing consistencies. Whether you're using realizing, fondant, macarons, batter, it really helps for it to just keep the shape or the texture that you're working with. Okay, and last but not least, the top part.
Wow.
It's cute. Now for this, I had to have like a previously made cookie. This is just for drying time. Since we're doing some painting, when we're doing painting onto our royal icing, we need to make sure that our royal icing is fully dry. Okay, here, because we're painting onto the cookie, it doesn't really matter. But once we start working on our royal icing, that's going to make the difference. So now that we have this, it's time to make our skin tone. So I have some medium consistency. Remember that for this skin tone, which is like more like a fair skin, I use our creamy ivory with sweet peach. So first I would add the creamy ivory, and with a toothpick, I would just pick a little bit of the sweet peach, and this is the tone that we will have. If you want to have more of a tanned skin or just a little bit darker skin, then definitely our gingerbread man color, which also comes in our Yummy collection, it's going to make your life easy. Okay, so I'm going to start by outlining where the face is. These are the ears, so I have to go. Yep. Now, this is the finger. This is the chin. Yes. The other ear. My other finger, which is just right beside like the bottom cheek. Now the neck. And same here, neck. We have. I close just in case we can't flood. And last but not least, let's do. I usually try to outline with the color that I will flood on top. So this is going to be for the hat. just like that. I think I didn't do it in the previous one. And now it's time to flood, okay? This is also same color. And I'm going to start flooding the face because that is the one I need for it to dry as much as possible. I will not be flooding the ears right away because I want like a difference in between these areas, and they will not be blending together. Because then once again, we will start working on like a flatter surface, and we don't want that. So I just keep squeezing my icing. I shiver like a chihuahua a little bit with the same piping bag. I always make sure that my previous icing that I've already flooded is completely smooth, because otherwise, if I leave it until the last moment, it might start already drying and I will not have enough time to work on it. If you're in a humid area, you will see that you will not have this issue. But when you're in drier areas like where I live, then you will see. You pop a little bubble. Yeah. And I keep flooding this.
Lisa is telling us
yes,
that she already shared the live.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for sharing.
And Divine Cookie's asking,
Yes.
will you share the drawing?
Yes, that's a gift that we have for you guys. So just help us by sharing this video, and a little bit further on the class, I'm going to tell you what you need to send us directly in Vanille Couture Instagram and Facebook. In both, you will get a little gift. So yes, so you will not have any excuse of not making this cookie.
And this is a really cool cookie.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to put to dry like this first area of my cookie. This is the one that we need to dry the most. So let me bring it to my dehydrator. Then let's start also with our realizing transfer. So for this is the gift that we will have for you guys, so that you have the exact same size of the cookie that we're making. And on top of this is that you can definitely work your glasses, the realizing transfers, and even the hat transfer that we will be working on it. So just help us share this video. And in order to get it, what you have to do is to type the word yummy, because of course we love our yummy connection. So it's YUMMY, yummy, directly either in our Vanille Couture's Facebook or Instagram, okay? And this is how you get the little free gift for you guys, okay? So, I have like a pre-cut one so that we don't have too much problem with the whole sheet. I'm going to have some Crisco, a little bit of a piece of acetate sheet, okay? And I'm going to do my glasses. So for my glasses, we're going to work with white, directly white, realizing. Okay, and for this, I will first outline.
Edith is asking, I don't understand. Why are you talking in English?
Because we're in Enco Foods USA. Estamos en Enco Foods USA y aquí, como es para personas que hablan inglés, por eso hablamos inglés, pero recuerda que igual puedes ver muchos más videitos nuestros en español, en EncoMX y obviamente en Vanille Couture.
O quedarte a aprender también viendo cómo Lili hace cada técnica. Okay. Y Iraida is saying, she's saying hi.
Hi. So cut here. This is what I do more or less to get like the shape. Because the hat is supposed to be covering part of them. Okay, now that we have this, it's time to flood the outer area of our glasses. Remember to do like a nice volume, because if you get enough volume, then it won't be as fragile for it to just break. Okay, you leave it too thin, especially these kind of like larger pieces and very, very thin areas will just break very, very easily, and you don't want that. If you see that your icing looks a little bit wobbly, you know, like not, yeah, it looks like a little bit curvy, just make sure to add some shivering like a chihuahua. Remember to move it a little bit with the same tip or your scribe tool, and you will find that it will start smoothing out. Especially for this realizing transfer, what I will do is just put it to dry, this first area that I just dried. And then after a few minutes, maybe like 5 minutes, then I can start flooding the inside of my glasses. I just really need to make sure that this will not blend together. So I will put this to dry, and after like maybe 5 minutes, I will come back and just add the center. Sometimes I don't even bring it over. I just do it directly into my dehydrator. I will show you how in a few minutes.
Greetings for you too. What a beautiful cookie.
Thank you for being here with us. So,
how can I get the glasses?
how can you get the glasses? You will get, I use the same image to basically have everything. However, in our store, vanilocoutureshop.com, you can also find different glasses transfer sheets, okay? So you can also give it a try. But for this one, we're using directly this same image that we will be gifting for you guys. The only thing you need to do is help us share this video. And once you have shared, you can definitely just send the message directly to our Vanilla Couture Instagram or Vanilla Couture Facebook with the word young. Okay? This is
Nice.
a free gift. Okay?
Nice.
Now, okay, before we move on. So, I told you that in the beginning, this...
Oh, yeah. The message must be sent to Los Vanilos.
Sorry, okay, yes, Los Vanilos. This is the one that I just recently did. So this looks like more fresh, but I had to have one that is pre-dried, okay? So this is a realizing mix, okay? And as you can see, when it's fresh, it looks like more, like shinier, and as it comes like to drying, it will lose the shine, but that is perfectly normal, okay? So once that we have this, because this is drier, it's time to transfer part of the face. Okay, so for this we use non-toxic pencils. I don't use my turntable because I just need some more stability. And before I keep on flooding, I need to just trace exactly where my cookie will go. So I have some guideline on the top hat, and I just need to make sure that it kind of fits where the finger is as well. I think there, yeah. Okay, right there. And just very, very softly and gently, I'm going to start tracing the nose, the nostrils, the nose, and I do it very, very softly.
What level would you say that this cookie is?
Definitely, I would just say more advanced, specifically because of painting. You need to have a little bit more precision with your brushes. But like realizing wise, you will see that we're not using so much detail, but it's more the painting technique that maybe sometimes it just makes it harder for some people. Okay. Just to remember that we'll have some outline here. And before I move out the rest of my, yeah, that's okay, of my parchment paper, then I definitely just make sure that I have my guideline. And this way I can just keep on working onto my cookie. So, first thing that we need to do, I'm going to open up a little bit more to have. In the previous one, I already outlined in pink.
Karina says, I'm watching you from Spain. Is it possible to get your colors here?
I don't think we still have any distributors in Spain, but hopefully soon. You can definitely just contact directly Enco, and if there's any shop that are willing to carry their products, then we might have our yummy collection soon more near you. Hopefully soon. Okay. So I'm going to start flooding.
Caro says hi.
Hi, welcome. This is bubblegum pink in a royal icing, but the very soft shade. Okay?
Is it the same color of the back of the cookie?
Yes.
Wow.
So that's part of the things that I love about our yummy collection. The different shades that you will get with one bottle. Okay? Okay. Make sure to pop any bubbles that you might see. For example, I see one here. Sometimes bubbles, you will see them on the side, not on the top part. Okay, that looks pretty okay to me. Last one but not least, the pink. So same food gel color bubblegum pink, but just different shade. So with more quantity, we'll get this darker shade. And, sorry.
That cookie looks so fancy.
Yes, this girl looks very fancy. And right now, I'm only flooding the top part of the hat, like the small area that you can see through this, like picture, okay? Then afterwards, we will flood the middle part. Yes, something like that. And now, last but not least, let's keep flooding the rest of our skin tone. So we need our ears. Now that we have our ears, we can also do part of the neck. Definitely the fingers. And I try to add a little bit more volume here because I don't want my fingers to look like sunken.
Like pushing the face.
Pushing the face, yes. The other one here. Same, I just add a little bit more on top just to create some more volume. And it's pretty okay to me. And okay, let's put it to dry. We will go back for our glasses.
So let's say you have you've finished your icing before you finished the cookie. The same color, I mean. Okay, let me think about it. Let's say you are flooding the cookie.
Yes.
And then you need more icing because the one you were using was finished. But you need the same color. What would you do?
First I plan things.
Okay.
We just posted a reel on how to calculate the amount of icing that you might need for each cookie. And I am telling you that will just save your cookier's life. So give it a try. Go to our Instagram, Los VANILOS, and you will see that reel. It's gonna change your life. Listen to me. Because that way you won't have that issue. However, if that already happened, then you would have to keep a little bit of the icing that you already ran out when it's fresh, and try with a toothpick to make it the more even as possible. But yeah, there's no way back once you have that. Okay, so why did I bring my dehydrator tray? Because I don't want to bend it. Okay, if I bend this is not fully dry, it will definitely crack and it will break. So I'm just going to directly here, flood the inside of my glasses.
That reel was excellent.
Yes, I think it's a very good little tip that we give for you guys. If you like it, help us share that reel as well, and leave us a comment. You really help us a lot by that. Okay, remember that we still want this area to be with a good volume, otherwise it will just make it like breaking easily. You don't want it to break easily. Okay, and now it's time to bring it back to the dehydrator. Now, I have a pre-dried glasses. They're not fully dry, but I know that they're just more like drier than the one that I just put inside my dehydrator. So for these, we will start by painting a little bit onto our glasses. For this, I'm also we will be using same of the pink. However, now I'm going to use a little bit of my white powder. This is just for it not to be so liquidy.
And you're gonna do the same you did before with the liquid color.
Yes, the only thing is that right now I'm also going to be using some blueberry color. Let me bring it over. That's going to be for our palm trees. We will also use some minty marshmallow. Okay, there. I'm going to use some vodka. And what happens with this is, as you can see, this is not drying as fast. Okay, this takes longer for it to dry, and this you will notice that it will dry faster. So I try to use it for these very, very like specific areas where I want it to dry just very fast. So I'm going to start by, this is just a palm tree, it's just a reflection on her sunglasses. And remember to don't like overthink it or just get too obsessed with it, because if you have to do many of these, you need to work fast. So you only need this to look sort of like a palm tree.
Okay, where can I purchase your colors?
So you can purchase, if you're in Mexico, directly in our store, vanilocoutureshop.com. And if not, you can also purchase it directly in Amazon. So if you follow us at Los VANILOS, you will find that every once in a week, we share with you the direct link. But if not today, after the live, we can share the link on Amazon directly, so that you can purchase the Yummy collection.
Or how can they search for them? Just put in Yummy collection.
Yeah,
right?
Yummy collection. Yeah, just like bing, ding, ding, like that. Yummy collection.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you will find it.
Okay, and another thing.
Yes.
Now you can find the colors on Canada.
Yes, now also in Canada, so you can also text directly Enco so that they can let you know where exactly in Canada they're already distributing Enco's products. So yes.
Nice.
Hopefully we will be more near you guys. Okay, so first palm tree. The second one, I just do it a little bit.
And what temperature you use on your dehydrator?
35, maximum 40 degrees Celsius. That's what I would use for my dehydrator. Okay, now I go on to the next glass, which is the other side, and this one's going to be more towards the okay. Remember, they don't have to be perfect. You just need it to look sort of like palm trees.
Okay, Elsie is saying that
Yes,
it is too bad that she doesn't understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, if someone is watching this and knows English, could you please translate a little bit of what we are talking about?
Okay, so we have this. Now I'm going to clean my brush because I just have a smaller one. So just with the same vodka, clean it as much as I can. And now it's time to paint a little bit of where, like the sea. It's like the horizon, okay? Kind of think of that. Same here. Okay. And clean it up a little bit. And now with what I have, a little bit more. We're just going to do like the sides, just very, very lightly. I clean it, and now with what I have with my vodka, I'm just going to lightly go up. Just to have a look, a little bit of like a sky, but I don't want to get like messed up where my sea is, like the horizon. Okay, now that I have this, it's time for my pink. Okay, and we will have two different pinks. Okay, something like that. I try to do like these wavy movement. Okay, and I try not to go directly with the previous color that I did, because it will just look flat. Okay, so I try to dilute it a little bit with the vodka that I have. And now once I have that, I can start working some waves on top. And last but not least, I take a little bit of the direct color, and I will go with some shade, like a darker shade. Okay. These kind of details are what makes a difference, okay? So don't be lazy, because that's what's going to make it look very cool. That you can see every detail near your cookie. The glasses, the transfer, the face, but it looks very, very well executed, okay?
What do you use for the watercolor effect?
I am using vodka, and right now I am using gel pen. Okay?
Okay.
Something like that. Okay, now once I have this, it's time to go onto my face. But before we also go onto our face, let's do this. We have another transfer. This is just because this is going to be like a larger transfer. It's going to be the top of our hat. So for this, I'm just using this self-cutting mat, but you can definitely use a cardboard or even just directly onto your dehydrator tray. That is up to you. And what I'm going to do is to make this realizing transfer. So the same area that we have previously flood, we will flood again, but as a realizing transfer sheet. This will help us to give this effect with the summer hat, that it's actually on top of the face. So it looks like lifted.
Like a really big hat.
Yes. I just find they're so cool. That I just find those hats are so cool and so chic. They're so complicated.
I have a story about
I know.
those kind of hats.
I know. You can tell the story if you want.
A couple of years ago, we went to Cancun.
Yes.
And Lily bought a big hat.
Just like this, but like an ivory, like basket weave kind of, like palm tree, texture.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was my dream. I always wanted one of those. So before we move on with the story, if I bend this, it will start getting cracks. So I'm taking it in this surface onto my dehydrator so it's fully flat, and this way it will just drop. Okay?
Okay.
Now you can continue. Sorry.
And then we were at this restaurant, I think.
We were at the airport.
At the airport. Oh, yes, you're right.
Back.
Wow, okay.
Don't make up the story.
Yeah.
Don't change the details.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So, we were at the airport. We were eating Burger King, maybe?
Yes.
Something like that.
No, I think it was Johnny Rockets.
Johnny Rockets.
Everything. I remember everything because it was a trauma week.
Mm-hmm. And I asked for Fanta, the orange Fanta.
Which he never asks for. Okay?
She's right. But
that day he wanted to drink some
orange
Fanta.
Soda. Okay, so
this is some petal dust, and I'm just going to add some blush onto our cookie. Okay. Sorry. You can.
At the end of our meal, we noticed that there was some Fanta on the table. And I don't remember how was it.
Okay, I'm going to tell the story because clearly you're just changing the facts, okay?
I don't remember.
And I don't want you to change the facts.
So I only remember
I left
the
Willie
end.
asking for the burgers, okay? He was just placing the order, and I told him I went to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the bathroom, and when I come back, I see everything in the table completely covered in Fanta, like splatter, including my wonderful hat. And I'm like, what happened? And he was like in shock, like a little boy, like, oh my God, what I'm going to say.
Hey, it was true. It was true.
I don't know. And I just told him, like, what happened? He's like, I don't know. My soda just like popped. And of course, now imagine my beautiful hat, which I brought, with my hand so it doesn't get damaged, completely in orange, splats on it. And we tried to clean it, and of course, it just ended up worse. I even tried some chlorine on top. Worse, no, terrible. Everything was so bad.
It was a one-use purchase.
Yes. So I just do this softly.
In my defense, we didn't notice that the cup was broken.
I wasn't there, so I'm not taking the responsibility for that.
It wasn't my fault.
Okay? Okay. And dun. Time for our... Where did I leave my glasses? Oh, here. Woo. it's time to glue our glasses. We still have to paint on it. Bad idea. No, we're still painting on this. Why did I think of this? Because if it's black, I might just have some accident and paint on top of my skin tone. So, but since we already have this cookie out, let's flood this other area. And that way, while we paint our glasses, this will start drying. So, yeah.
So, where is the hat right now?
I think we already...
No,
it's there?
Like, it is like, like hecho bola.
I'm still grieving it. So now, the second one that I got is red wine color, a dark color, but I just find it's harder to match outfits. So you can have it all, apparently. Okay. I kind of saw a little bubble here. There we go. Okay, we'll put this to dry, and then I'll come back.
So, in case you are watching this video, Johnny Rockets, you owe us. You owe us.
And Johnny Rockets going to be, of course not. That's your fault.
No, it wasn't my fault. The cup was broken.
That's your fault, dude. It was your fault.
No.
Okay, so now we're going to paint this black. So we're using now super black. No need to add anything but just vodka. So, okay. Now be careful when using paintbrushes, because when we use a lot of vodka, sometimes some of the liquid stays in this area. You see this metallic area? So make sure to just dry it out, so maybe a drop doesn't damage your realizer. So for this, I'm going to, I think it's more or less here, up where the outline will go, and I'm going to leave this one here.
So, have you shared this video?
Yes.
Remember, we are gifting you the image we are using today. But first, you need to share this video, and after you sharing, you need to send us a message, a private message, with the word yummy.
Okay, this is on Los VANILOS Instagram and on Vanilla Couture's Facebook. Okay, when painting, doesn't matter what you're painting, you need to be careful. This is the area that if I just do it directly onto my cookie, you might have to be just extra careful. And here is just the acetate that we are coloring. Okay? It's easier if I wouldn't have popped it off before. I just got messed up. But you need to be careful on the amount of vodka or liquid that you're using. Because if you add too much onto your paintbrush, then it might start smudging or just going, towards the side, and you will lose this precision line. Okay, so right now I'm using a liner just to make it more delicate. And because it's a very small area, and afterwards, this is the same paintbrush that I will use for the face features, okay? So don't use very round brushes, because that's the one that will just hold the most alcohol or liquid that you will use. So make sure to always take off the excess before keep on working onto your cookie. So I think this one goes up until here.
How can I know that I put too much liquid?
I think when you are starting, you definitely need to have a practice cookie on the side with realizing. That way, I think I already know by eye how much it's holding my paintbrush. But do the practice on top of the realizing. If you just barely touch it and it starts how do you say it?
Spread?
Spreading, yes, thank you. If it starts spreading, then it's definitely too much liquid on it. and that way you will try to avoid it afterwards. So before I move on,
what's the powder you used?
it's dioxide titanium. You can use also white petal dust, which you can find in our shop. So the top part is white, but I outlined everything with a little bit of black. This is more like this cartoony effect, which is more like this pop idea, pop art, like cartoon.
Bertha says, hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, last but not least, we go to the other side. Okay, this way. For example, I don't know if you get to see, but I know that there's like a big blob. You might not, did you see like a little curve?
Mm-hmm.
That means it is holding a lot of the color. So if I just do like a big pressure, you see how much? It's different from when I kind of clean it and it doesn't look that curvy. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be careful. You need to learn to watch and observe your paintbrush bristles, because that way you will see the amount of water or color that it's holding. I completely forgot it was that. Sorry. We're going to make it a little bit up here.
Greetings from Puerto Rico.
Greetings all the way to Puerto Rico. We love going to Puerto Rico. I think one of the most kind people are from Puerto Rico, and we will remember that trip with a lot of heart, with our heart. They even gifted us Coquito, a taxi driver.
Yeah, she's right.
She's so sweet.
And what about Isla Verde?
Yes, Willie was almost throwing up, but...
No, we went to Isla Tortuga as well.
That one. I was like, the best thing ever. I'm like, Willie, why aren't you talking?
Willie was like,
I'm about to throw up. Yeah,
I was dying and she was so happy on that boat.
It was a great trip. Okay. Now we're ready with our glasses. Sorry, another thing. When you're using, make sure you're using a small quantity of the liquid. In this case, we're using vodka, because that way drying time is going to be faster. If you use a lot, then it's going to be extra shinier, but that means it's also going to take longer time for it to dry, and you don't want that. You want to keep on working with your cookie and to speed up the drying process. Even if you're using a dehydrator, if you use too much liquid, then it just becomes like a terrible idea. When you're bagging, it just keeps touching and smudging. So just make sure to avoid using extra vodka. Just use whatever you just need for you to paint, and that's enough. Because I can see already your first area, it's already starting to dry, and that's exactly what we're looking for.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Someone's asking if the sunglasses is a cookie, the shape is a cookie, or is it icing transfer?
It's an icing transfer.
Okay.
We are exactly going on to that. So it's realizing transfer. So.
Iriana says, hi, VANILOS.
Hi, welcome. Sorry. Okay. And now it's time to basically align it. There we go. Maybe a little bit towards you. Yes. How did I know it was a little bit towards the right? The nose. That way it's exactly following, the outline of my hat. And now it's central. Okay. Now, once we have this, it's time to paint our face. Same thing, practice cooking with realizing. Okay, that way it will just help you out. Notice the amount of realizing that you might need.
I took the 2 classes you have in Domestica. I learned and I had fun. Thank you for sharing. all your
here.
knowledge.
And hopefully we will have you in our new platform.
Yeah, we are working on our new platform.
Yeah, for online classes. So hopefully we will have you there.
Ooh, this is the stressful moment.
The nostrils.
Hmm?
I'm like the nostrils. Don't make me talk, Willie. Don't make me talk.
No, I mean the painting. The black painting.
You can use also non-toxic pens, but I just find the effect is different. They're not as like super black, and sometimes they're not as thin. You know, the effect. Okay, I'm gonna put there. Now it's time to outline. Okay.
Can I use black royalizing for that?
Black realizing. Yeah, you can definitely do. But I just find like if you paint it on top, you're just using one single piping bag. And for the other one, you have to do two. But yes, I'm only using black and it's going to be more into a stiff consistency for the final detail onto my hat. Okay, so before we move on, okay, raspberry. So this is our raspberry smoothie, which we love. Okay. And
Hello from Brazil.
hello. I think this one, I can use this one.
From Brazil.
Okay. So now we will go. I might add a little bit of the black. Because you see, I'm not taking directly the color, just the vodka that had a little bit of black, just to darken it.
Oh yeah, I watched that on a reel.
Okay. Yep. And now.
You forgot the teeth. No?
That
Those
was
were the teeth.
Okay, no worries. We can definitely do something. Okay. Look what I'm going to do.
Let's see.
Top secret.
Nice. Thank you, Vanilos, for sharing with us your knowledge as well as your tips.
So the only thing that I'm worried about is this is not fully dry. But if my cookies were fully dry, this is a top tip for you guys. So I'm gonna clean it up. This is only because white, it will be black or other darker color on top. It doesn't really matter. But if I am adding white to it, the white starts absorbing the bottom color. So that's why I'm just taking off. That's what I'm doing. I'm scratching it up.
Will you have Spanish classes?
Oh, yes. Yes, we do. Most of our classes are in Spanish. So it's only here at Eco Foods USA that we have in English. So, yeah.
Y esto lo digo rápido en español porque para las personas que no entienden el inglés, que nos están haciendo el favor de vernos, sí, la mayoría de nuestras clases son en español, por no decir el 90%. Solamente una vez al mes hacemos un live en inglés en EcoFoods. El resto es en español, así que sigan bien pendientes de nuestro Facebook, de nuestro Instagram, porque sí damos clases en español. Solo una vez al mes es en inglés.
Una pequeña barriguita, little... Yeah, okay. And we can definitely put also like white realizing, but I will not do that. Okay. Time for white. Let me take this. Okay. I will try not to smudge
Brush
too much.
it too much.
Yes.
Yes, because the color will be mixed,
Exactly.
right? Mm-hmm.
And if not, we can always just add final royalizing on top.
Whoa.
And it will work as well. Sorry, I'm going to take a little bit more. I love that. You forgot to come back. No. Oh yeah, that was, I thought it was a bigger thing. Doesn't matter. So I'm basically just like sort of dabbing it. Okay. I'll keep on doing this the rest. Tell me.
Let's say it when like when you put some lipstick on your mouth and then the teeth. Oh, I don't know how to say it. Te manchan los dientes. Got stained with the lipstick. Sometimes it happens.
Yes, a lot. Probably one of the things that all women hate. Okay. First, now, let's do a smaller look.
Your watermelon earrings look so awesome.
Thank you. It's like a softer color for the lips. A little bit of this one. Yes. You see, it's very, very little amount of liquid, because otherwise we might end up using too much. So that's going to be for my black outline. We will do that later.
It looks really cool already.
And there's a little highlight here. Okay. Now, with this, I'm going to just then I want it to pink. I'm just going to do a darker, just like a lip outline. When you're using like at least 2 different shades, you might give more volume to it. A little bit. Okay. And now let's do some white. Okay, white. Very careful. I didn't do it with royalizing, okay? Just remember I'm trying to, well, let me see if I can build it on top. If not, then I would use some royalizing. One drop. Yeah, I'm gonna put some royalizing on top. We need it to leave it to dry a little bit. And then I can put it on top. Then, last but not least, I can also put some highlight here. Okay. And let's go with our black. Okay. This is where we don't speak. Okay. Now, on top of the lower lip, I'm cleaning a little bit because I'm dragging a little bit of the white. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. And now here, there's like a bigger shadow. Two. You need to exaggerate a little bit. This. Something like that. Now, after this, where's my little pink?
Did you use vodka for the lips or just color?
I'm using vodka, yes. Kind of look like a T-Rex.
Like a claw.
Yeah, like a T-Rex nail. Sorry. Okay. And ding ding ding, we keep on now outlining the rest of our face. Completely outline the chin and the sides. Make sure to just completely cover the sides. Now the neck as well. The other side. Just make sure to don't get, you don't want to just speed up the process, and then when you start taking more vodka, everything might change. Part of the neck. I think when you're also starting, make sure to use smaller paintbrush. The larger the paintbrush, the more advanced, like maybe your precision with paintbrush must be.
Y recuerden, Vanilos, que vamos a regalar la plantilla de esta figura para las personas que primero compartan este video y luego nos manden un mensaje privado por Facebook o por Instagram a los Vanilos. Nos mandan la palabra yummy y les enviamos automáticamente la plantilla, pero primero deben de compartir.
Okay. And then the little sides of the here. And we have little eyeline, like little lines on the What am I missing? The white highlight as well. Okay. And last but not least, let's also add our last transfer. So for this, I need to sort of cover a little bit of the hat. And to lift it up from my medium consistency, I can just hold it a little bit and add a little bit on the bottom.
That is a very cool idea or technique.
There. Okay. Now, last, we also need to add a little bit of outline here in the top part. You won't see as much, but And now, with our black icing, last detail, before we're done, we're going to be using a number 3 tip. Okay, this is the first time that we're using this thickness. You can see it's more thick than the usual outline. And for this, we will go directly.
Why is that? You need a thick
Because
tip.
I wanted for it to be the rim of my hat. So I wanted more volume. Okay. And this is also the rim of the hat. So
Remember that you will be able to watch this class again on Facebook.
perfect. Okay. And we're done.
Yay! Look at that.
I am not closing the rest of the gaps with black royal icing because otherwise it will just lose the effect that it's part of the hat's rim. Okay? So make sure to only put the hat's rim and then this one, the one on top, let it to fully dry. And we finish with our painting today.
Nice.
With using our Yummy collection colors. And remember that we're gifting you the template for you to give it a try. And the only thing you need to do is help us share this video. If you want to send us some stars, you can definitely do them as well. And you can just send the word yummy. Remember how to type it. It's right on our food gel colors. So it's yummy, the word you need to send us once you have already shared this video directly in Los Vanilos Instagram and in Vanille Couture's Facebook. Okay?
Nice.
Yay!
Yes, we're done. And also, remember that now you can find us at Amazon in Canada.
Yes, you can find us directly in Amazon, in the US, and also directly at Enco Foods USA. We're already in Canada, so make sure to also give it a try.
Yay!
Collection. And, well, we're very, very happy to be more near you guys. Hopefully it will give you some inspiring ideas to give it a try with the Yummy collection, of course, set. And, I don't know if there's any questions.
No.
But
No.
keep following us in our social media because we have more surprises for you guys. And hopefully we'll see you soon in another Foods Lab.
All right.
See you guys.
See you.